Hello, Bill Molyneux here for Bill's Wargame World, and we are in Baltimore, and we're playing the first day of Gettysburg, a Scott Mingus scenario. Cross sabers. If you saw the introductory video and setup video, there we are. Scott Mingus is a wonderful author and historian, and we're using Gettysburg Soldiers rules. I talked about them in the last video. There they are, and we're going to just get right to play. So it's the first day of Gettysburg. To give you an idea, this is Herr's Tavern. McPherson's Barn would be out here. I hope you like I dropped the background down. Several people said the yellow wheat was a little too much. I hope you enjoy this video. A couple shout outs, then we're going to get playing. Our Confederates, we have Archers Brigade, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regiments, Tennessee and Alabama boys. We have a lot of artillery, and we have the day off. I have some stuff to do the next few days, and I'm off next week. So we are staying home right now. My wife's not up to traveling. And I got to say, that background came out pretty good. So, I'm going to roll dice and see who's going first. And I don't know about my background music, but we have 2 dice, and our Confederates get to go first. And I have my new cheat sheet here, and we are using the newest mics I bought. Hopefully they'll work fine. So my Confederates are going to, this is where they are for the first turn. Forgot about that. So let me get you a view of our Confederates. And I'll probably change our camera angle many times throughout this game. So we rolled our Confederates. This is where they're actually at. And we have 3-inch rifle, 12-pounder, Napoleon. We have Dave's M's 3-inch rifle, which is really a Whitworth that he gifted me, 10-pounder Parrott, and two 12-pounders. All right. So, trying to decide the best place to put the camera. And how's that, everyone? You can see the line pretty good. My regiments of Gamble's Brigade, and get Scott's notes out. So we're going to just go ahead and General Gamble's here. We'll attach him to this regiment. This is a big regiment. And if you're wondering, that is the 8th New York. That's the 8th New York over there. And I'll try to remember to mention the regiments as we're playing. So we're going to roll. Our Confederates have moved. My Union troops are happy. And we have Confederates will fire first. We're at long range. So I'm going through my modifiers. Now what I'm probably going to do is I'll stop the camera and resolve the firing. But right off the bat here, I got 6 stands. And looking at, we got fence. And they're veterans, so that's a +1, -1, no attached officer. And we roll 2 dice, and we have a 10. And So they actually take a red pipe cleaner loss, and they're going to retreat, but not rout. So they're falling back 6 inches. Now, and they've taken a hit. Another hit, they'll lose three troopers. And we need a white pipe cleaner for them to check morale later. All right, now they would have fired back, of course. It's simultaneous. And the artillery is not firing this turn. It just arrived. So all these batteries, we're having them unlimber and get prepared. All right. So let's see how our troopers do. And I should have resolved that before I move them. So here we go. We have carbines. It's long range, but they're veterans. And we're going to roll 2 dice and 9s. And 1, 2, 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 2. I'm sorry. Okay. So these Confederates, because the carbines have that +2, the flanking this far unit here, it's retreating. It took, so we're just going to move it way over here, and it took a hit, and it gets a white pipe cleaner to rally. And you can't see it, and I apologize. And I'm still learning the best placement for everything. And don't forget, as you watch this, you're raising money for the Gettysburg Foundation. All right. So I'm going to stop the camera and then resolve combat and come back at the end of turn 1. All right, welcome back. I messed up. I didn't have this unit fire at that regiment out there, and they took another hit, but did not take another morale check. I should have done it all at once. I'm still learning these rules, Gettysburg soldiers, and trying to run the camera and everything. By the way, if you're wondering, those of you that do follow Goober the Traveling Bear, he is sitting up there. And he's wearing his Scoots barbecue shirt tonight. And he's going to be reviewing and doing some stuff regarding my new Weiss Fork game on the Battle of Weiss Fork. And that's supporting that battlefield. All right. So at the end of turn 1, this is where we're at. We're playing, it goes from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Wednesday morning. And we're going to stop the camera here and get prepared for turn 2. All right, we're on turn 2. The Confederates get to move first. We rolled that already. And since we don't have to work in the morning, we're having an adult beverage. I wish Ron Perlman or the Chuckleheads were here. So we're going to be moving our Confederates up. We have 6 turns to get to Herr's Tavern. So, with a rebel yell, and I'm going to risk this and keep this unit in column. These 3 are the Alabama regiments. These 2 are the Tennessee. And I got fence, fence, fence. And in these rules, they're 3 inches a pop. So I'm really stuck right there. And this scenario, again, is a Scott Mingus scenario. Cross Sabers, available on Wargaming Vault. And our artillery batteries are functional now. This unit, 3 and 3, very frustrating crossing all these fence lines. There's Archer. Now, we have this unit here to rally. So, let's see what we got to do. They are not at half strength, and they are a 6 or better. And we rolled a 3. So, they have fallen back again. So, we're going to put them right at the edge. I guess I need to send Archer over there to get them motivated. I'm going to go ahead and move our Union cavalry now. And the reason I'm using mounted troops, I have dismounted. I got hundreds of dismounted cavalrymen for Little Bighorn. Is I just sort of think it's sort of cool to have 100 horsemen in 54 millimeter on the scale on the table. All right. So, you know what? Our job is to hold them from Herr's Tavern for 6 turns. I had thought of being crazy and they had to check a morale check and they're fine. They rolled a 10 and they're not at half strength. But apologize for the camera. There we go. I had thought of taking them and coming around, but they would just get obliterated by all that artillery. So right now we are ready to move the camera angle. I'd like to say thank you, by the way, for watching my videos. I had a couple negative posts, the first time in a long time. I'll never be Mark's Game Room or Little Wars TV or a lot of other channels. I'm just an old fella playing old style war games in the basement and with some friends. And life is very short. So we are going to have the Union, taking back that fence line here. We are done with the Union troops. We're going to do firing. So I get out my trusty combat chart, and of course I went over this a couple times. Not going to do it again. I'm going to pour all this artillery into this unit here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We have smooth bore. So we have mixed batteries. I have to figure that out. So here we go. And rather than you having to watch me roll dice and all that, we're going to have us fire everything, and then I'll come back to you for turn 2. All right, we changed our camera angle and show you what happened. They failed to hit. They hit with the artillery, and so this unit took 1 hit but did not get the retreat roll. However, they scored 2 hits on this unit with the retreat. So we have some Tennessee troops falling back, and then the rest of the Confederate line and the artillery. If you remember, we had the Union cavalry unit here was obliterated. It was wiped out by the mass guns. However, the objective is for infantry to take Herr's Tavern in 6 turns. So we'll roll the dice. Union are going to move first. I'm going to stop the camera and I'll come back to you. All right, everyone. I moved both sides. The Union and Confederates have moved. As you can see, this unit has rallied and moved up to there. Our other unit shaped out a column and formed line there. Our other Confederate unit is here. This is a Tennessee unit. And then on the other side of the table, we have that 3-base unit. And the unit that really was having some morale problems has been rallied by Archer himself. He said, come on, boys. Now the artillery batteries, they're getting ready to fire again. So there they are. I threw some smoke to give it some pizzazz. And in case anyone is wondering, we have some really cool figures on this table. Besides Marks, Airfix, BMC, we have some really old Marks horses and stuff on this table too. And please leave a comment what you think of the new backdrop. I mean, that's almost Walt Leach chucklehead level there. I mean, Walt Leach himself would be, he's our John Ford of the Chuckleheads group. So, I'm going to go ahead and stop the camera, resolve firing. We have had no melees yet, but I'll get the firing done and come back to you. We're on turn 3. Welcome back, everyone. Well, we had a lot of action happen on the field. First of all, our Union cavalry unit that was at this fence line here lost 2 bases, rout. It took 4 hits total. It's retreated. It's in routine, facing away from the enemy. This unit lost 2 bases, and they're routing back. And then, let me see. This is the unit that's routing. So the carbine modifier is really making a difference. Treating them as dismounted cavalry. For today's game, I just wanted to use these 54 millimeter horsemen. I have several hundred of them that really don't see much action after my little bighorn craze. So that is all the firing but the artillery. You know what? Well, being the game master and video person, I did all the infantry fire. I forgot to fire the cannons. All right. So for those of you that like artillery, like Dave, I'm going to go ahead and try to resolve that while filming. Now, we're going to have everything pour over here, and we are long range from this point over, and we're going to do this one for the rifled guns, which was a 5, which is 1 hit, but no morale. And the other one is a 7. That goes down 2. We got a stone wall fence. It's a 0. Let's see. 5. Oh, it's 1 hit. So they actually lose a base, but no morale as far as a forced retreat or rout. Okay, now, so we resolved. Whoops, I apologize for that. We resolved this 4-gun battery. And then we have this battery here. And boy, it's a long-range shot. But we'll have it lob shells way out there. I get my magic tape out. Let's see what happens, and we're at 50 inches. And I should have dice box on the other side again. I don't know where I put it. And it is a mixed battery, so I got to do it this way. Oh, I rolled a 12 or 11. I mean, that's a hit, even with the stone wall. And the other one's a miss. All right, so we scored a hit. we did score a hit on that Union cavalry out there. No morale, retreat, or route. That chart has a retreat and a route number, 6 inches or 12. So I'm going to go flip my time tracking die. And the cavalry is getting chewed up, but we're going to turn 4. Turn 4. All right. See who goes first. Confederates are going first. I'll stop the camera so you won't get bored. I'll go ahead and move both sides. And we got to get to that brown building. That's Herr's Tavern. All right, welcome back. We have a Confederate unit here. It's routing. This unit's advancing. This is our last Union Cavalry Regiment holding here. We got a unit here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is one of the big units. This unit is still routing, by the way. Now I have not moved I only have to hold out 2 more turns. We're going to turn 4. Then we got 5 and 6. All the Confederates have moved. And they're toy soldiers. I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to order a cavalry charge on the other side of the table. That's right. I'm going to move our camera. Okay, everyone. I've decided to go crazy. General Gamble is ordering a cavalry charge, and it's going to be a stunning charge. So, there we go. And last but not least, and General Gamble's going in. So, we will see what happens. All right, we're going to resolve our firing, then our melee. Our artillery can't fire at that unit. And General Gamble is going to see what happens, if he'll get shot out of the saddle or not. All right. So, it's a crazy idea I had, and we rolled for firing. Really doesn't matter, but the Confederates are going first. I'm going to go ahead and resolve all the firing, and then I'll come back to you for the melee. Hey everyone, welcome back. Well, this unit here took 1 hit, but no retreat loss. Our Union cavalry on that wall they lost a base. They already took 1/2 hit, so they lost a base. Now, here we go. We're going to resolve my crazy cavalry charge, and I got to do some numbers to add these up. All right, because sort of reminds me of Fire and Fury rules, okay, for the melee. So I'm going to come back to you. All right, the Great Cavalry Charge. This is what I rolled. 4 for the Confederates and 11 for our Union. Now we use this cross indexing thing. Mounted cavalry gets a +2 and so forth. However, it turns out to be a 7 or more. Confederate suffers 3 kills and routes. 3 kills is a full base, a half a base, and they run away 12 inches, which is roughly there. And so they are routed. Now and There's no officer. We have to see if he's... Nope, he's alive. So General Gamble has survived the great cavalry charge in the open field right near Herr's Tavern. Now, the Confederates seem to be getting slowed down by all these fences and walls they got out here. Maybe, but I lived in Gettysburg for 20 years. The darn fences and walls are everywhere. And we will check, use the Scott, as far as I can tell, there are a lot of fences and walls. All right. So, what a grand cavalry charge that was. Now, they are going to probably get pummeled, though, by all that artillery. We're going to turn 5. Turn 5. Okay, we'll see who's going to go first. And, wow, boxcars. And the Union go first. All right, which is good. I'm going to have them fall back 3 inches and 3 inches, 6 from 24, and they can make it back to the ridge. So they're on Herr's ridge. So they're back in here. All right. And I'll pause the camera and I'll go ahead and move everything. All right, I have everything moved but one unit. This unit's moved forward. This unit's still routing. Another unit's rallied, but he's so far out of action that he's down to 1 base. Our 1 Union cavalry unit of 3 figures is routing off the table. And then we have Confederates sneaking around. That's the school, by the way. If you're wondering, that white building is supposed to represent the school. So I have to decide, do I shake them into line and fire, or do I do a charge? It's turn 5. I got this turn and next turn. I think I'm going to try firing. So I'm going to go ahead and move them up into position. And I got some fences in the way and a field. So we're going to say they got to about there. So it's going to be interesting to see. We're really close to Herr's Tavern. And I do have another unit coming up. And we have a lot of artillery. So let's resolve some combat. What do you say? Well, welcome back. Gamble is still alive, but his unit here took a full stand loss, and they're routing back. Now, in the firefight that's ensuing in front of Herr's Tavern for turn 5, the Confederates lost a full stand. The Union cavalry lost a stand. Neither one got a morale check issue. And then down here we have this Confederate unit. That was that unit that was routing, and that's as far as it's got. And then I have one more Confederate regiment of 1 base out there. Okay. So we're going to go to turn 6, and really it's going to pertain down to really if this Confederate regiment here can break through to there, they will actually fulfill the victory conditions in Scott's scenario. Let's see what happens. We're going to turn 6. I'm using the Peter dice, by the way. My friend Peter Wargamer, who does the Fury Road games. All right, let's see who goes first. And the Union got a 2. Confederates have a 1. And that's, boy, I'm trying to think, should I risk a cavalry charge because I'm worried about artillery hitting them. And I'm so close to, for the Confederates to break through or not. You know what? I'm going to sound the cavalry charge. And we'll have a mounted charge and try to hold that road. Delay them for the First Corps' arrival. And Gamble's going. He's even with his. I rolled a 3, so they're going in. And again, we're using Gettysburg Soldiers rules. We'll move our fence out of the way. I won't do the sound effects this time. So this is it. Our Confederates. This unit here would move up. And there we go. General Archer. And look how close we are to Herr's Tavern. All right, so the artillery has no targets, so I would limber them up. I have that Confederate regiment on the flank. We're going to see if he has the, which I'm sure he does, he has the movement to hit those troopers. And yeah, you know what? Just barely. Yeah, some war gamers would say no, some would say yes. It's just touching, so we're going to roll a die. If it's even, they hit the Union on the flank, and it's even, so they do make it. All right, we did a fair 50-50 chance that they were just a little shy. So, we're going to resolve our melee for turn 6. This is it. This is a big deal. If the cavalry hold out, they and they're charging. I got to get the charger thing out. Mounted cavalry attack is +2, and they're being attacked on the. I'm not going to say that's a flank attack. I wish Ron the Snyder Pretzel King, Ron Perlman, was here, but they did not start on their flank. So right now it's going to be down to the dice. So let's get the dice box in there so everyone can see it. There we go. For the game, really. For the game. Oh my gosh. It's a 8-7. It's a difference of 1. And with a +3. So the Union. Okay, Confederates suffer 1 loss and retreats. Union suffers one loss but not retreat. The Union cavalry hold. And greater numbers. Wow. Oh, Game Master mistake. It's a +2. 7, 8, 9. And it brings us, it's still the same result. All right, everyone. Our Confederates are being driven back, even though they did outnumber them. They fall back. They take a loss, which is a full base, because they already took one other. So they fall back to here. Our Union cavalry take a loss, but they don't get a retreat roll. So that's the end of turn 6. So at the end of turn 6, everyone, we have the following things happening. One of Gamble's units, which is one of them, has held. We'll say it's the 8th Illinois. So the 8th Illinois, and yes, I could have labeled this stuff. The 8th Illinois has held Herr's Ridge, barely. Gamble is falling back. He is not. He's got a unit that's routed on the far end of the table. we have another unit that's gone off the table for our trusty Confederates. They got really close. Also, we had this unit had two bad morale checks right in the first two turns, so that didn't help. And the artillery, once the cavalry mixed it up, our gunners couldn't do so well. They couldn't get into firing. Now so that's where we are at day one at Gettysburg. This video, like all my videos, support the Gettysburg Foundation for this month. Every month I pick something else, a different historic site. So we're going to end this with our typical closeout of stay safe, be kind, be courteous. Coming up, World War I dogfights, Weiss Fork unboxing of my new board game, and much, much more with none other than Goober the Traveling Bear. Stay safe, everyone, and laugh. Life is very short. Thank you for watching.